Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, radio, and podcast talk show. You can find us on television live, and that's at 2 p.m., and that's on the Eastern time zone. Thank you again so much for watching and sending email. It makes my day. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. Television is channel 182 on Charter Communications. That's in Alabama. You can also find us worldwide on Abundance Television. That's found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Podcast is thenewscasters.com and WZLA Radio, located right here in South Carolina, the biggest powerhouse country station around. Make sure you listen to Benji and Lacey in the morning. They're good buddies of mine. They do a great show. And also, Benji just informed me a few days ago that a lot of Alabama folks are listening. So we appreciate you doing that as well. We were listening before we moved. I just wanted to get a good feel for the community and what it was like here in Abbeville. So anyway, if you have a smaller station or a larger one, but they're in town. They're not run by some corporation somewhere, but they're close by. Those are the ones you really want to listen to for local news and weather and community events. So anyway, appreciate them letting us do that. I have DeJoly with me right now, and she's one of my trusted friends. I trust her on everything. I haven't given you the key to the house yet.
Oh, darn.
Too?
Or directions.
Yeah. You need to come and stay a while and walk into the garden and show us what we're doing. Let's talk a little bit. The last segment we had was a little bit about gardening and herbs and that kind of thing. But now you are also a relationship coach. So let's talk about that. And you've written several books. Let's talk about those.
Okay. Yes, I would love to. Relationships. That's interesting. An interesting topic because all of us are in a relationship. Our most important one is with ourselves. But we often wonder how we're doing on a scale of success and how we're connecting and all that stuff. And I want to just say that my coaching involves a lot of writing because I take the life coaching and I give prompts for women to actually write about what it is they feel, because oftentimes we don't know how to name what we feel. So I do a lot of emotional literacy, meaning teach them different words to describe how they're feeling. Instead of just saying, I feel good, you could say, I feel ecstatic about whatever, or I'm in love with, and then say those things. But a lot of us just know some basics. I'm mad, I'm sad, I love, I hate, just the normal 5 or 6 emotions. And there's like a huge array of emotions that women and men don't really tap into. So in the relationship, if you have emotional literacy, you can actually be specific about how you're feeling rather than just very vague. Oftentimes women think the man should be able to read her mind, and that can get you in trouble.
Get him in trouble too if he doesn't pick up on it.
Yes. And so it's really nice to have that background of knowing what the exact words are, because when you don't know, you can get not your needs won't get met. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes when we don't get our needs met, we have an adverse reaction, and we don't know what it is. I know what's going on in the world today can bring a lot of anxiety, but if you don't know what you're actually anxious about, then it could lead you into places that aren't necessary. For instance, a few days ago, I'm just going to take it to my own personal life. A few days ago, I was feeling really anxious and I couldn't figure out why. I mean, it was maybe now it's been about a week. So I'm going to say it's been about a week. What happened was I had been overdosing on my phone, right? And watching podcasts, watching the news and getting all upset and everything. And it was bringing me some anxiety. And then what happened was I realized that there was only a personal story related thing regarding the Epstein information. Mm-hmm. And that was affecting me more than anything else on the airwaves, right? So I decided that I did a lot of journaling during that period. It was about 48 hours of was causing my heart to, flutter and get
Mhm.
very anxious. And it was, I'm sure that people can relate to this. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Um, so there was a lot of that anxiety, and it was causing me physical problems. And I wouldn't call them problems. They were just like, what's going on in my, chest? What is this,
Mhm.
And I was at that point where I really thought, do I need to call an ambulance, or do I need to call a friend to take me to the emergency room? What's going on?
Mhm.
So I just held my breath and not held my breath. I breathed and I wrote. And as I wrote, I started allowing myself to just put out everything that was inside of me on the paper. And
Mhm.
then I went outside and put my bare feet on the ground and watched the sunset.
Mhm.
And what happened was all of that uh, energy, that anxiety released once I realized that element that I was being triggered by. And so
Mhm.
once I realized that and put my feet on the ground and got myself grounded and back into the beauty of the sunset, I made a commitment to myself to stay off the phone, to stay off the podcast, and to just give myself 20 minutes of news a day if I wanted to. That was a choice. And otherwise, I would find things to do that weren't involving my phone. And I gave myself 2 weeks. So it's been a week. And I can tell you that I don't have any, immediately after I went outside and did the feet on the ground, after the journaling and putting it all out on paper. And basically when you do that, I do a mind dump, what's on your mind, you put it on the paper, and then it's done. It's out of you. And so I went outside and did that, and almost immediately the heart thing stopped. None of that. I haven't had it since. And because I recognized what it was through writing all of that down, I recognized what it was that was actually triggering me from the news. It wasn't all of the news. It was a piece of the news that really sent me back to my childhood issues, right? And
Mhm.
I took that to heart. I can say that with the writing, it's very important to understand that letting go of what's in your mind and in your heart and in your gut
Mhm.
can help you come to a grounded place where you can see clearly what it is that's bothering you. There's a lot of clarity that comes with writing and releasing the emotional stuff. So,
Well, what I've seen people do, and I see this on social media all the time. As a matter of fact, if I didn't host this show, I wouldn't have social media. I just let it go. But I use it as a means to get information out. But what I'm seeing is people are just getting now I'm talking on both sides of the platform there. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not really a card-toting Republican either.
right.
I guess I'm not a follower of people. I don't follow people. I'd rather follow God. I find out I've got a much peaceful life when I do that. And I'm not like an overzealous religious person either. I just believe in Jesus, and that's about it. But I just notice people. It's like they all been out. They lose friendships. They just go crazy, and then they start with these weird words and all this stuff. And it's almost like you're about to see somebody. I want to just say to people, just stop right there. You're going to have a heart attack. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that they get all red faced. They get all this and it's not healthy. I just know that when I was living in Alabama, there was some relationship issues with relatives. And you know how I was. I was on high anxiety alert all the time.
Yeah.
It was just like, and you told me, you kept saying, you're going to have to do something. You're going to wind up with a heart attack, and I was like, I'm okay. And you kept saying, no, you're not. You're not okay.
Well, that's the thing. What we do, we have a very strong urgency to just either push through it or deny it. So I'm okay. I'm okay. And no, you're not okay. You're not. And you can push yourself. And what happens is you become disconnected from yourself. You don't honor the part within you that really needs to have rest. You don't honor the part with you that needs to have silence, no stimulus at all. There's just so much that you you lose when you try to push through things, which is our culture. We tell people, oh, you can just, step up and muster up and all that stuff. And I know that men do that a lot. They push through stuff, and you'll see that the heart attack rate in men is high. And it's not, they can't put their finger on what it is they're stressing about, because we don't teach people their emotional array of what they can say is happening. And then we don't teach them methods to get rid of all of that and then come have some clarity, which is what you do with writing. So you have all of this pent up inside, and you can really kill yourself. Basically, you walk into a room and all of a sudden you're just like crying, and you don't know why. Like, what is going on? I just walked into this room.
Well, I went to the doctor's office because I started losing weight, and this is when we were living in Alabama, and I was not on the diet. I was eating. But I was losing weight, and Phil said, you got to go to the doctor. Something is not right about you. Something is not right. And he said, I know what it is, but you need to go to the doctor, because he saw the stress. And he was under stress too. He was under stress because I was under stress. And so the doctor started asking me about family life. She said, everything okay between you and your husband? And I said, no, don't start with him. It's not him. And I told her who it was. And she said, you're going to have to move. And I said, my show is here. I can't see. And I hate moving, DeJoly. I hate it. I'm not one of those that just packs up and wants to move all the time. Yep. And I said, no, I'm stuck here. I said, I got to stay here. And she said, you won't be living very long. She was that right with me. And but now she wanted to put me on sedatives and stuff like that. And I said, no, I'm not going to start that. Because I think that's what's wrong with some of my family members, is they, whatever, sedatives, whatever. And I never wanted to do that. And I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I listened to this and didn't do it. But anyway, sometimes you do have to, and some people would call it you're just running away from a problem. But sometimes you just have to remove yourself.
That's exactly right.
Well, what happened is right after that, Brad calls, my son, who's living in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he said, I want y'all here. He said, we're going to be moving to South Carolina, and I know you love the Carolinas. We want you back home in the Carolinas. Nice. And I started just crying. And, I'm not a crier. I don't do that. I'm like, I'm tough. And all of a sudden I just started, well, then that worried him. And I said, no, you just happened to say, I said, I went to the doctor, and I cried to her too, by the way. And I'm not a crier. I'm just bubbling down. So anyway, long story short, we moved, and I'm happy that we did. Now, we did bring some of the problem with us, but overall, I'm a much happier person. I have to go into a commercial break. I just saw what time it is. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Man, time flies with you. We'll be right back. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday. I wanted to thank a bunch of our new sponsors. That's Walmart, and we've got Amazon on board. We've got Dr. Chuck, the chiropractor. And I just got to tell you, I got to talk about Dr. Chuck. Okay, he's located in Greenwood, South Carolina. One of our really good friends here in South Carolina. And so, Phil, and I wanted to mention this to you, DeJoly. I love chiropractors, and I'm going to tell you why I really love Dr. Chuck. He has the laser, and he also has this beamer machine. Everything's all natural. You lay down on this, and you'll think you've went to heaven. You'll just like sleep like a baby if you're not careful. Now, some people it energizes. But anyway, you need to check that out wherever you're living. But if you live in South Carolina, you need to see Dr. Chuck. Okay, so this is what happened. So Phil injured his back moving. We brought Mother with us and tons of boxes and all this kind of stuff. And so anyway, he injured his back for the move. So he goes to the doctor, and the doctor is saying you're going to have surgery. And then so I told Phil about Dr. Chuck, and so Phil talked to the surgeon about a chiropractor, and he said, "Try it." And so Phil tried it, and I'm just telling you, it's a miracle. I mean, this laser machine he has and the beamer, I don't know how it works, but it works. And so it looks like Phil's not going to have back surgery.
Yay. Well, there's some other Disc Institute in Pittsburgh is another amazing place, and it's all natural, and it's unbelievably, the body can renew itself, including the disc. The spine can renew its degeneration. So I'm very happy for Phil. I wouldn't want to have back surgery, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness, he's done really well. I knew he was having some issues, but you know how dudes are. They're not going to tell you nothing. You have to like drag it out of them. So I had to drag it out of him. I said, something's not right, Phil, like he does to do me. I'm no better than he is. And so we're birds of a feather. So anyway, I saw him walking a particular way one time, and I said, okay, that's it. What's wrong? And that's when he told me about his back. I said, did you injure it during moving? And he said, yeah. So anyway, he's a whole lot better. He's walking straighter. Oh, and let me tell you something else. So Dr. Chuck, everybody calls him Dr. Chuck. He's been here for like 30 years. And so he had Phil he had his legs on the stretcher kind of a thing. And so he said, now I want you to come here, Don. I want to show you something. He said, see how one leg is longer than the other one? And I said, how did that happen? And he said, well, where he's hurting on that one side, he's probably, that's the way he's walking. And he said, let's see what happens when I do the beamer and all this stuff. And I said, okay. And the laser. And so then he has him lay back on the stretcher again. And he said, now look, one session lined up. So sometimes we just have problems. I mean, you have to think about 2,000 years ago. They didn't have surgeons. And I mean, they did bloodletting. If you had headaches, they'd cut your head and let blood lay out, which was not a wise thing to do. Now we know. But they had something like chiropractors back in those days. And natural remedies and, all this natural stuff. Do you think we're doing our bodies a disjustice by not seeking health first, the healthy ways?
Our bodies can regenerate. Our bodies can, if we listen to our bodies, which is part of what I do with my writing and coaching, and that is you listen to what your body's telling you. If you listen, your body will tell you, I need some rest, or I need some water, or I need somebody to hold me for a few minutes while I cry. I mean, it'll tell you. And so if we listen, our body can realign and regenerate all of our parts, including, which I did not know, that the disc can regenerate. And so, yeah, I think it's real important for us to listen to our bodies, and to writing for me helps me understand more about what's going on in my body. Like if I have something out of place, I remember years and years ago, I discovered Louise Hay. If you know Louise Hay. Louise Hay does, you can heal your body, and it's all natural, just by using, I shouldn't say just, but by using affirmations and awareness. If I have something going on in my elbow, I can look it up in her book and say, elbow means this, and this is what you can do about it. This is an affirmation you can use. And for the most part, just like my heart thing that happened, I can release it by becoming more aware through my writing. I wrote down everything that was in my brain, it's like mind dump, and then look at it and say, oh, that's what that is. And then once I was able to clearly see that and release it, then all of the physical symptoms went away. The reality is, if we hold those emotions inside, they will affect our body. They will either cause us cancer, they'll cause us neck pain, they'll cause blindness, they'll cause hearing loss, they'll cause hair to fall out. The things that we hold inside don't just go away. They're energy. They're energetic parts of our body that can hold. It's like a piece of whatever inside of your body, and it just starts gathering stuff around it, like a rock gathers moss. So as you do that, as you clear that moss away, you can actually see what it is that you're dealing with and then let it go. But you can't do that if you just push through it.
Well, I feel like if you can make yourself sick it's like I used to dread Christmases because I knew I was going to be around family and it was going to be a problem. I just knew it's because it always was. It was years of it. And so I dread it, and I would get sick.
Yeah. If you can make yourself sick, you can make yourself well.
Absolutely, you can. You most certainly can. But another thing I learned is it's not worth the argument. And so when something would be said, I got to where I would just kind of laugh it off. And I'd go, well, that's just ignorance on their part. They can't help themselves.
Yeah. And it is, there's that saying, you have to pick your battles. And that's a real, it may be just a saying, but the reality is, if you don't pick your battles and you're just fighting all the time, all of that energy is going into your body. And if you don't have a way to release it, if you don't allow yourself to release it, then it's going to stay there in some form. A lot of people have heart attacks. They'll have cancer. They'll have migraines. Of course, what happens is it triggers your body to react in a certain way. And if you if you don't take care of getting rid of that issue of the emotional stuff, then that's going to appear as if your body needs medical help.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, for me, if I have some patience, if I have patience enough, I can sit with it, and I can, like I did with the heart thing. It was scary, you know.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, no, this is not real. This is not real. And I do have a person I can call, like within minutes, she's here, and I can get to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, I sat down and I just had to do my dump, because that's what I teach. And if I don't follow what I teach, then I'm not a good teacher.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right about that. And another thing is I've learned I can't control people in what they do. I can only control me and how I receive it. So, I mean, that was a hard lesson right there. It took me 60 years to do it, but I finally figured it out with your help.
Yes, very true.
I can't control people. And so if somebody has, a personal vendetta against you, you don't even know what in the world it is. I found by worrying about it was not extending my life one bit.
I don't know if you did, but I watched the progress from Texas to Washington, D.C. of the monks. And all the way along the way, they talked about peace and goodness and all that. And yesterday, amazingly enough, you're saying something that I watched the venerable monk talk about yesterday, and that was about controlling people. You cannot control what others do, think, or say. You can only control your reaction to it. If you are in that mindset of I've got to control a situation or I've got to control a person, then there's a lot of negative energy within you, and that's what you have to get rid of. Mm-hmm. What you have to allow yourself to just like sweep out your inner being, come on, let's sweep it out. And there are things you can do. I mean, there are certain religions, like in Buddhist religion, they have chanting and they have incense and all the rest of it. Native American, which is some of what I do, is we also have clearing and cleansing herbs that we use, and sage is one of them. And so when you clear and cleanse internally, then you have more clarity for the goodness to come through. You can see better. You can understand that there's beauty in all things, including the things that are challenging, So yeah, I think that controlling people has, in the 12-step program, they say the only thing you can control is your reaction to other things. And if you have that under control, that if you've dealt with that, then you don't have to worry about controlling anybody else. In fact, one of the things that you learn in most of the healthy ways of living is to surround yourself with people who are positive and who will uplift you and who will encourage you, not people who will criticize and bring in negativity and harsh words, harsh language, even violence. So when somebody says they have a certain opinion, I'm like, everybody has one.
That's true. They do. Basically, we're going to have to call it a day. What's your website again? Let's tell folks how to get in contact with you.
DeJoly.com. That's my website. That's easy. And Facebook. Anytime you want to get on Facebook and check it out, I'm there, DeJoly LaBrier.
There you go. Thank you again so much for being with me. And thank you guys so much for watching the show. You're the reason we do what we do. You're absolutely fantastic. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com, Donna@donnasedge.com. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Donna.